Gnosticism, the term comes from the Greek word for knowledge. The Greek word for knowledge is gnosis, spelled with a G. Gnosis means knowledge in Greek. There were a number of Christian groups in the 2nd and 3rd centuries, especially, starting out probably somewhat after the New Testament period, who maintained that Jesus brought salvation not by dying on the cross and being raised again, but by delivering the secret knowledge that was necessary for people to learn so that they could escape the material trappings of their body to go to a spiritual heavenly realm. The basic idea behind this is a kind of a dualism where there's a spiritual realm that is good and positive, and there's a material realm that is really quite awful. And so our suffering comes because we're material beings. And so our bodies can get injured, we can starve, we die, bad things, we get diseases, bad things happen to us because of our bodies. And so the material world itself is a problem. And so in these Gnostic religions, the material world did not come into existence by the creation of a good God. The material world came into existence because of a cosmic disaster. And before the cosmic disaster, there was only a spiritual realm with divine beings. But because of things that happened in this realm, eventually there was a disaster that happened that led to the creation of the material world. And it led some elements of the spiritual world to be trapped here in human bodies. So some people have a divine spark within them, a part of the divine within them. And the goal of the Gnostic religion is to allow them to escape their material trappings, to return to their spiritual home. And that can only happen if they receive correct knowledge, gnosis. And so these Gnostic texts are largely about the revelations of the secret knowledge that can bring salvation.
Yeah, interestingly, a lot of these non-canonical gospels don't even mention a crucifixion, a resurrection, which in the canonical tradition is the story of Jesus. That's the most important thing. And these don't even contain those stories at all a lot of the time.
Well, that's right. Some of them, such as the Gospel of Thomas, I think you've done a thing. There's questions about whether to call that Gnostic or not. But the Gospel of Judas does not have a death and resurrection. There are other Gnostic Gospels that are even more interesting, in which the crucifixion happens, but it's not at all what you think.